Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, Patty. You know what that means? Satchidananda Swarupa. It means Satchidananda is truth, knowledge, bliss. Right? Swarupa, fullness. I live in the fullness. I live in that fullness. I live in truth, knowledge, bliss. So that's what you're chanting. And that's why I say it with energy. Many of you don't know the meaning of it, so I can understand what's going on here, all this chanting. But chanting is to lift your energies higher, and that's what it should do. And it's our mistake for not explaining the chants to many of the new people, because we have new people here every week, and we should explain it so that you know. To chant is, the reason why we chant is because chants have now been proven by Russian doctors, as I was telling them yesterday in Spain, that when you chant, they've done experiments with Sanskrit chants, and they found that people became elevated in their minds and their thoughts. That actually it worked. Even people who didn't understand the meaning of the chants were elevated. So there's a sound vibration in chanting. Yeah, let everybody settle first.
You're saying that both lights are blue, not you?
Yeah, well, don't worry. We'll sort the lights out one day. First of all, before I start, I want to say I'm happy to see you all again. I've had a wonderful time in Hong Kong with my family, and it's been great. We're 7 siblings, so you can imagine 7 noisy children together who haven't seen each other for a long time. And I had very good news. Some of you know my sister Lavina, younger sister, had a stroke at 38. And I must say she's admirable. She never complains. She can't walk by herself. She still needs a stick and shakes. She's stunningly beautiful. She can't, when she gets excited, goes like that. She laughs at herself, and we all have a good laugh. And to see somebody who has to live, a smart person, live in that body and accept it so beautifully was, I was filled with admiration. And, the way she went to the weddings every evening without complaining, her husband doing her makeup for her, her daughter dressing her, and they loving her so much because she, even though the body has become crippled, there's so much light shining from her. Like even the husband's still madly in love with her. They still have husband and wife arguments all the time. It's very cute to watch. And that to me was such an eye-opener. And of course when you do good in the world, good comes back to you. And while we were there, we had the great news that her only daughter, who looks after her so well, has met a wonderful man who wants to spoil her, look after her, love her to bits, and they're getting married in August. Wow. And she was saying to me, sis, I'm so blessed. And I said, well, it's your goodness. You've suffered so much. And, we talk about it in yoga. Tapas, tapas means you burn, you suffer. But, look how you've taken your suffering. You've applied it with love. You do what you can. She does yoga 5 times a week. She goes into water therapy. She lives in Accra. Her mother-in-law in Ghana and Africa. Her mother-in-law passed away 2 years ago, and she takes over the running of the house. Yes, they have maids, but she still runs the house. She gets up at 7, she takes her bath at 8:30, and she goes, I order the food for the day, I look after the house for my father-in-law, then I go, I don't like to play cards, sis, but that's the only thing I can do. I play rummy in the afternoon. But I said, you know what, good, at least you keep yourself occupied. What I'm saying is, when you help yourself, the universe will help you. And of course now, to see such a wonderful thing happen to her, such a nice, good boy, from such a good family, such an honorable family. When you do good in life, and when you accept your suffering without creating too much pain, the good does come back to you. Even in the Bible it says, the good you do will last for 7 generations. 7 generations. So it is very important, no matter what hardship befalls us, that we take it on with strength, we take it on with love. And there's always a reward at the end of the day. She could have taken it horribly. The first year was hard for her. She did. She got very angry. But of course, that's normal. 1 year of anger is normal. But after 1 year of anger, most people stay in anger for the rest of their life. Why me, why me, why me? After 1 year of anger, she made the transition to acceptance. Allow yourself only this much time to grieve. And after that, stop feeling sorry for yourself, because you never know what you can accomplish when you love yourself with all your defects. And that's what she's learned to do, love herself with all her defects. And it really is so wonderful to watch, and such an inspiration. She says, oh, I think you're a wonderful teacher. I said, you're a better teacher than I am. You walk it every day. Literally, she can't walk so well. So we always keep on learning. And for me, again and again and again, I see that when people accept their suffering, things happen, good things happen, light comes, you have a good life. When you don't accept your suffering, who suffers but you anyway? If you become bitter and angry, who sits with it? You sit with it. If you can't forgive, if you can't move on, you suffer. So why don't people just get on their feet and say, I've had feeling sorry for myself. I have feeling, what should I do today? And what should I do tomorrow? And should I do this? And I have something good, let me make the best of it. We need to change our thinking. We really do. We also blessed. Every day, you need to shout it. You need to scream it. You need to get up and stop those little moans that you make. This is going wrong, and you didn't do this, and you did this. And just breathe life. Just fill your energy, There's so much to do in this world. When you fill yourself with this light and this love, you will get what you need to do. Honestly, you will. Just be patient. Just be patient. But if while you're waiting for something to happen and you're impatient, what should happen, and should I do this or do that, you're not driving yourself nuts. You're not allowing the energy of God to work through you, or divine energy. Because you are too busy trying to forecast what should be happening for you, so why should the divine come in? There is a wonderful story. There's a wonderful story in our Hindu scriptures, and Gurudev, our master, tells it, there is, what is it? There's somebody on earth, and he's a good man, and suddenly somebody comes and challenges him and wants to fight with him and wants to argue with him and wants to battle with him. And he's praying to God, oh Lord Shiva, please, please, can you help me? And then Lord Shiva's wife, Parvati, or a counterpart, is saying, oh Lord Shiva, look at the poor guy praying. Why don't you go down and help him? Your poor son is suffering. This man is really bullying him. Why don't you go down and help him? So Lord Shiva says, okay, I'll go down. Of course, as soon as he goes down to help him, the guy said, well, Lord Shiva hasn't done that battle. And then, so Lord Shiva goes, well, since you're doing your own battle and you're battling so much, you really don't need my help anymore. Bye. Did you get that? We battle with ourselves. I'm not talking about a physical battle now. I'm talking about mental battles. Because physical, no problem. I think everybody is very educated and we don't have those kind of battles anymore. We don't. Our battles here are more mental with ourselves. We battle. We want to control again, always the same, right? Everything should be the way we want it to be. I wish it was that easy. It's so hard to make things happen the way you want to be. Why don't you relax and see what happens? Change the chant. Relax and see what happens. That's why we do deep relaxation. Relax and watch what comes in. We can't seem to relax these days. Even information, we want to right away Google it. I mean, it's really quite nice sometimes when you need information, it's great. And if I go on and fly with my talking, I really will. We have a very special guest here this evening, and this is Shiva Kami. Please, can you come up here a minute? Please. I would be very honored. Let me tell you about her. We also have a very special guest, Lakshmi here from Portugal. Shiva Kami's from Brazil, and now she's living in Miami. And Sarasota, sorry. Got it wrong.
set is more beautiful.
Oh, thank you. And she is coming here. We're having a workshop at the George Harilela Hall in Spain as from Saturday, which she's going to be running yoga for the special needs child. She herself had a special needs child who passed away when the child was 15. She would have been 41, you told me yesterday, if she had lived. And she took it upon herself. In those days, there was no help for special needs, as many of you know. And she took upon it herself to serve the world with training them to show what deep souls, special needs children did have inside. And I'd just like her to say a few words herself, because because it's not often that you have a great master coming from abroad who started this. She is the, founder of the Yoga for Special Needs and travels all over the world, all over. She just was in Dubai, India, where else was she just? London, and all over the world. And, to be here and so humbly sit, and how can I not acknowledge this wonderful soul? So please say something. A few words.
Hari Om, how are you? God bless you. Okay.
Welcome to Gibraltar.
A bit more, please.
Well, this is an honor for me to be here. And it's an honor because she's my spiritual sister. We are sister and the Guruji. But I'm sure that we have been together in other lives.
Many.
So it's an honor for me. That's my first time in Gibraltar. I just came from a tour. The lady is good, huh?
Karen, thank
It's
you,
very
Karen.
good.
I
Oh,
told you
there
to
she is.
put it.
Yeah. It was so nice to see her coming, rescuing us. Because I was asking questions. Oh, this building here looks so old. And then, I don't know, yeah, perhaps. And then then I asked, then I got some information. Like, this is significantly old. So now I got some information, significantly old, like me. So then Karen came here, and then she explained to me everything I want to know. Beautiful, huh?
Beautiful.
Love ever. It's very, very beautiful. And I look forward for Saturday. How many of you come? That's beautiful. So, I'll see you Saturday. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you.
Can I go back?
Thank you. And please, those who are sitting and I can't see your faces, please, you can open up your chairs and move them forward so I can see some of your faces. Please, or move your chair to the middle. Please, I can't see some of you and some of you are blocking. And it'd be great if you can move your chairs. I feel very comfortable with that. Thank you. Thank you, Auntie Rajni, for doing that. Thank you. That's great. That's great. I can see some of your faces. Thank you very much. And then I'd like to also introduce Lakshmi. Please, could you stand up?
Oh.
Sitting there, sitting there.
Turn around. Turn around. Okay, this is Lakshmi. She's really the goddess of wealth. That's what the name means. She is the person who, we run the SIS charity. She's the person that puts the website together. She's the one that does all the background work that you see all these programs I'm going to in India, London. She does all the work for me. I don't do anything. She just sends me emails and says, is this okay? These dates okay? These dates okay? And makes all the arrangement, which is ours. And all the charity that we do, she continues and contacts all of them on our behalf. The work she does is amazing. Not only does she work with me, she also helps Sonia on her programs all over the world. Not only does she work with Sonia, she also now with the ashram in India, she helps them and arrange programs with them. You know, and this girl gets nothing for it except love. And I think she will be so blessed by the gods. But Lakshmi, thank you. Thank you very much. She also works with special needs in Portugal. She also gives yoga classes and helps Quinta de Calma in Portugal a lot. And she also now teaches Raja Yoga. She also teaches Hatha 2 and 3. So this is all the things she does. And she gives 12 classes in 1 week. So Anne does everything else. You have to think she's quite phenomenal. And then I'd like
She's not significantly old.
she's significantly young.
Only the wisdom that she has.
And last of all, I'd like to welcome Janaki from Sweden. Her English name is Jenny. We call her Janaki. Yeah, and she's another one. She does mother and baby classes in England. She works with prenatal, postnatal. She along with her husband Paddy, who says he isn't a yogi, but I think he's one of the greatest yogis I know. They serve so much on such a personal basis. Their homes are open. Our own Mark and Katie, who come from Gibraltar, they're in England. They become like parents to them. When Chandra had problem with Phil, they helped her get her apartment, furnish it, go to London, sort everything out for them. Their train journeys. I mean, really a great karma yogi. And she loves the Gibraltarians. I love Gibraltarians. So not only does she teach, she does karma yoga, she helps all the women that are going to have babies, advises them. I hope one day she'll come, maybe next year, to do a day course for mother-baby classes, you know. I think that would be great. She said she might be willing to, right? Okay, she'd love to, so we'll have her come and teach mother-baby courses. I think that's the next step we will do here, mother and babies. I'd love to see that, you know. So these are the wonderful souls that are all over the world. And it is great when you're in the world of the spirit, because like attracts like. When you work on a business level, the type of people you will meet are business people. When you work on the material level, the type of people you will meet are materialistic, right? And nothing is wrong. It's just that, you know, if you work with materialistic people, if that's what you want, that's what you will get. And of course, in the material world, there will always be comparisons, who have got more, who's got less. So you see, there'll be a lot of suffering with it. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's nothing. You will just suffer. Sorry. That's the way it is, because material people will argue about material things. Yeah? When you live in a more spiritual world, when it's purely spiritual and not egotistically spiritual, when you really love the world and work for the world as you know, from your heart, because you love people, because you love God in everything, you love Mother Nature, and you love the earth, and you just care. When you just care, what happens? The type of people that you will meet are those kind of people too, that care. And what happens to your life? What is the difference? It's just that your life becomes more enriched, that every day is magical, because the kind of people you work fill you with inspiration. And of course, if you're filled with inspiration, what will happen to your life? You won't talk about the petty small problems that you have. Oh, they're so small, they don't matter. What matters is the bigger picture. You know, I see people panicking about little things going wrong in the home. But you know, I tell you, when you don't worry, things really work out. You know, I remember the day I was leaving, you know, God always tests you, by the way. You have to accept those tests. Generously accept them and say, yeah, I can do it. The day before I was leaving for Hong Kong, there was the storm. Do you remember we had that big storm, and now we have another storm, and I think one is predicted for tomorrow, by the way. So maybe we stay home and anyway, just to give you this story, how the divine energy works, right, when you don't worry. And I was so busy till the last minute, so, oh my God, Monday morning I'm leaving, no, Sunday, I'm leaving Monday. We had the workshop on the Saturday, and I go, I have to pack all these things for a wedding. So what happens? That morning I get up, the tree, my big tree in my garden, falls over, totally cracks and go over, and it's hanging like this. My front door, because of the rain, I have house sitters, is jammed. It's Sunday. I'm leaving, was it Monday or Tuesday? Yeah, Monday. Uh-oh. There's nobody going to come and help me now. So Monday morning, get all my stuff ready. I'm going to call the gardener, hope I get him. I'm going to call the man for the door. So I call the man for the door, Jose, his name. Jose, you know, he's my handyman. Jose, I'm in trouble. I'm leaving. And my new people that come in, because I wasn't really worried about myself. I was worried about them, because you push it hard, you can open it. But they're going to have so much trouble in their house sitting. What am I going to do? He says, Nalanie, I'm sick in bed, but for you I'll come. I said, please don't do that. He says, but I have to. He comes, shaves it down, half an hour done. I'm just about to call the gardener, and who do I see walking to my garden? He said, have you seen your tree? I said, yeah, calling me. He goes, well, I don't know what made me come in today. And I said, it's a huge job. Can you manage? No problem. Got the saw. Zzz. It was all done. It was all done like magically. And I go, thank you, God, I can leave. And he goes, but I haven't done a good job. Jose tells me, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's done. And the key works, and my new people came after half an hour. House is ready for you, you know? I'm just saying that when things happen last minute, things work. But when you just don't focus on panicking and you just call the right people, just do this, just do that. I didn't even think, what if they aren't there? I didn't even go to the next thought. Do you see? You see what most people do, and I've been watching them. Oh, what if I call this one? And that one is in there, and this one is in there. What do I do next? And by the time you pick up the phone, you've lost 45 minutes. And maybe that person wouldn't have been there. It's gone. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you have to attend to something, an emergency, anything, especially an emotional emergency, deal with it. I couldn't do it on Sunday because nobody's home, everybody's out. So just leave Sunday to pack and sort things out. God gave me a perfect plan. If I dealt it on a Sunday, I wouldn't have packed and panicked. Do you know? So if you just do what you have at hand and do it simply and trust, it just works. And if it doesn't work, it wasn't meant to work. The people that were looking after the house would look after it. No big deal. I'll give them some money and say, can you sort it? Do you see? But I just didn't want them to have that inconvenience. And the gods answered my prayer. You know, they're looking after my home. I don't want them to suffer. But if it didn't happen, they could have done it. And I've noticed that what happens with people, and they blame God and they blame life, is there's so much mind stuff. In yoga, again and again and again, keep it simple. Got it? Does that get to your head? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Don't say, but what if this doesn't happen? Wait till you get there and do the buts only when you get there. Don't cross the bridge unless you have to. You don't need to. And don't cross the bridge when there's none. And many people are like, I have to go there. I have to. But there's nothing to go to, you know, except now, this moment. Deal with it this moment. We really don't know what's going to happen the next anyway. Do we really know what's going to happen the next? We don't. And you know, we just need to, these stories teach us in life. Everything, you know, I even learned. I got even more inspired after that happened to me because I felt God was teaching me. We're constantly learning all the time. And if you can take your life as almost like you're being taught by the highest, but by the highest, not around people, what people tell you. God bless them, they're great souls and they can tell you a lot of things. But some things might be tainted by their own perception. But if you can get a direct line yourself with your heart and your instinct, and all you have to do to get that is stop so much. This is the problem, just tend to it. This is why she can do so many things in a day. She can do, you know, last night we were at the yoga center. Another thing, right? So right after that, we found out that the toilet was flooding. You know, somebody put something down our toilet. I only have one toilet at the yoga center in George Harilela Hall. It was closed, nobody could use it. It was, somebody put something in. So Ole comes, I have to go because my kids are waiting in the car, it's getting late, but he needs a plunger. And Lakshmi goes, don't worry, I always unplug toilets and use them at home. I said, no, Lakshmi, you're helping me with the dinner. Never mind, we'll attend to it tomorrow. Poor girl, you've driven all day, you've come from Madrid. So no, find a plunger. So I'll go in my store and get a plunger. Comes back in 5 minutes, all done, all fixed. Honestly. And that's why she can do so many things in one day. Because when there's a problem, attend it. If there's something needed, she does it there and then. Somebody invites me for a program, she emails me right away. They've invited you, can you make it? These are the dates you have, Nalanie. Thank you. Can you make those dates or don't? You're giving me 3 choices. So you see, it's very efficient. It's very efficient. Learn to be efficient. Time management is really important, but you don't have to control time management. You just have to be efficient. What comes, do it immediately. Do it quickly. Do it organized. And then you can do many things in one day. And at the end of the day, you're so exhausted from doing so many beautiful things that you sleep so well. And then you have beautiful dreams. And so many people today can't sleep because the mind is so busy and the body is not useful. Your body loves to be useful. It loves to be needed. It loves to be that instrument that St. Francis talks about. Make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is darkness, let me bring light. You know the whole prayer. I say it over and over again because it's such an incredible prayer. And when you live like that, the kind of life you have is very exciting. I'm not saying that you won't get obstacles. They will come always. Always. I promise you. For the rest of your life, you will have problems. So you might as well start enjoying them. Will you do that? Enjoy them. It's going to happen. Guaranteed. So enjoy them. Fly through them. Life is going so quickly. Somebody said to me today, Nalanie, it was only January and New Year's Eve, and now we're nearly into March. Isn't it quick? Don't you feel there's an energy working that's going faster? Do you all feel it? Yeah? It's like life is just speeding up. And I think it's a warning sign to all of us to be more relaxed in the rush. Just really learn to relax. Most of the problems that are caused today is that we don't learn to relax in the rush. You can still rush, but be relaxed. So that's why it's really important to do deep breathing every day, because it reminds you. Somebody I met in Hong Kong was really very agitated all the time, and I said, okay, do you do deep breathing? You know all about yoga. No. Why haven't you done it? Because I'm too agitated. I said, but I'm giving you a cure. Why aren't you using it? And then that person said, okay, what do I have to do? I said, all you have to do for the next week is take 3 deep breaths every hour on the hour while you're awake. Can you do that? It's really quite easy. If you think 3 deep breaths is not going to cost you more than 2 minutes every hour on the hour. Better than taking medication, better than the agitated mind. Can you do it? Did it one day, felt much better, didn't do it the second and third day. Why? Take a tablet, poison your body. Why? I forgot. But it's your body, it's your mind, it's your soul. How can you forget? So I said, okay, let's give you another solution. Put a big sticker by your bed, put it in your bathroom, put it everywhere you go in your home. I need to breathe deeply 3 times every hour. Oh, what a brilliant idea. Did they do it? No. So I go, can't help you anymore. Goodbye. Can't. Can you help people who don't help themselves? You know the saying, you do your best and God will do the rest. But if you don't do your best, then don't blame God. It's not going to follow you. Don't blame life. Don't blame anyone. You're just not doing it. There's medicine, you're not taking it. So it's anybody's problem but your own. It's your own. And that's the responsibility that spirituality asks us to take ourselves, It's our responsibility. Nobody's to blame for our misery or our joy. Yes, they could have caused it, but that we keep it is our own problem. And if we are wise and want to live a good life, we say, you know what? You caused so much suffering. Goodbye. I'm going to go on a new road now because I am determined to be happy. Are you determined to be happy?
Yes.
Yeah, you see, you've got to tell yourself. Is that your goal? Do you want peace? Yes. All of us are looking for peace, joy, and happiness. So why every time we self-sabotage ourselves? Why do we sabotage ourselves? Nobody does it to us. Yes, you can blame someone. If somebody's making you that miserable, then go. Why are you there? Stop complaining. Either you stay or either you go. Make a decision. Right or wrong, who's to judge that? I really don't know what's right or what's wrong. All I know is make peace, your God, as my master told me. This is good, this is bad, what will people say? I really don't know. People will talk about you all the time. I promise you that too. At least they're talking about you and not somebody else. Isn't that exciting? You're famous. You want popularity? You got it. So, yeah, but really, it's really important that you make space, please, for yourself. Please. It's really vital for all of your lives to, make some space for yourself, some time for yourself. But not time spent in all the da-da-da-da. Say I'm going to have, time to take a 5-minute walk. And while I'm taking that 5-minute walk, I'm going to sing my favorite song. I'm going to look at the flowers. I'm going to talk to the birds. And I'm going to just love having my 5 minutes. Sitting down doing nothing. I deserve it. Try that. It's really fun. That 5 minutes will seem so delicious to you. I'm going to have no complaints. Nothing. I'm just going to think of all my favorite things. You know the story from Sound of Music? Oh, Patty always said, I simply remember my favorite things. Come on, Patty. And I don't feel so bad. See, that's it. And today I got lots of questions, so I better get a move on, right? So anyway, it's great to see you. And before I continue, I really want to thank Karen and Jasmine to take over class, the two Annas. Thank you so much for giving the talks while I was away. I would really like to thank Patty and Anju, who's not here tonight. And who else? Lakshmi, thank you very much for your talks. And Shanti in Spain, and Kamala, who you don't see. And Mangala, you were an absolute hit. The request is, please can we have her back? Please, sincerely, I got emails in Hong Kong from her, so I have to be totally truthful, right? I never lie, I have to be totally truthful. In fact, I would like to say that what somebody told me last night, because it's truthful, and you and Lakshmi and all of you have spent years here serving with so much love. I think you should be praised when the time is right. I'm always praising the others, but I very rarely praise you. So they said to me that when you started to speak, they felt that you were getting direct information from the divine. Now, don't you think that was a great compliment to you? And they could feel you really touched them, you moved them, and you made some of them cry. So obviously you have a gift whether you like it or not. No, I have to give you the message. I'm just a message, remember? Now, if you want to take it out and make many lives happy, up to you. And if you don't, it's also up to you.
I like making people cry.
You also make them laugh. You make them cry with joy. Would you like that? Do you like to make them cry with joy? No answer. Serve, love, give, meditate, realize.
No conditions.
So, we have private jokes here with the teachers, And we have some incredible souls in this center, and I'm very grateful for them, and I think they just need to know that they're incredible souls. It's very difficult to stay positive in a negative situation. How do we master feeling positive in the heart? The mind knows, but your heart and soul feel differently. It's very difficult to stay positive in a negative situation. Yes, it is. It is. And the great saint of the 6th century, Shankaracharya, said, when you are feeling like that, it is really, and I won't say it in Sanskrit because half of you won't understand it. It says, stay, when you're feeling like this, go to satsang. Satsang is what we're doing now. Stay in the company of positively, highly spiritual people. Your friends who are spiritual. Stay in that energy field. Because when you're in that energy field, you cannot be dragged down. So stay in that company. And while you're in that company, you will forget your problems. You will forget your problems for that, because you're elevated to that high energy field. You feel a little elevated, joyful, peaceful. And when you start to feel peaceful, you start to feel free. You become a jivan mukti, which means you become free in a negative situation. And so it is really important when you're in a negative frame of mind to be around very highly evolved spiritual souls, or somebody. Don't go in the company of people who are disturbed or have problems. For example, when I was in America one year, there was a lot of problems going around. A lot of the couples were splitting up and having problems. And this lady came to me, and she was having problems with her husband as well. And but I knew of her husband, and I could see he was a beautiful human being. But of course, when you're in a bad situation, everything looks black, right? I call it the black cloud. That's my word for it. You can't see the good points in the other person, and he couldn't see the good points in her. And so she came to see me, and she said, Nalanie, I am thinking of leaving him. And I go, okay, he looks like a good guy to me. I would say he's a good guy, but he's always depressed. Oh, is he always depressed? Have you spoken to him about it? Yes, and he just grunts. Oh, he's depressed. And I go, what about your reaction, I mean, do you feel anything for him? I don't know anymore, but all my friends around me saying that I should leave him, I should leave him, I should leave him, and they've all left their partners, and maybe I'm just, maybe I'm just doing this because I think that's the right thing to do. I said, every situation is different. Every relationship is different. I don't see your husband as dark as some of the other ones that you have mentioned. Maybe in their case they should have left. But why don't you both come and see me? And you know what they did? I won't go into the long story. And the truth of the matter was, he was very depressed, only because he loved her so much, and she spent all her time on her spiritual work, but totally ignored him. So he was starving for her love, but he didn't know how to ask her for it, because he could see that the work she was doing was beautiful, but at the same time he needed her love too. And she didn't know that that's why he was depressed. She just thought he was depressed because he was a depressed person. And when he told her how much he loved her, and he didn't have the heart to tell her that he needed her love because he knew the wonderful work she was doing, she started crying. So why didn't you tell me that ages ago? So she said, what is the solution? And I said, why don't you use the same solution I used to do when my husband was alive? I said, well, at that time he was still alive. I said, Monday to Thursday is for the world. Friday for my kids. I mean, every other day, anyway, you're with your partner. But I meant seriously, right? Because you talk with them in the morning, you're with them in the evening, but it's never enough. They need more, huh? So I said, Saturday, Sunday, it's your day. So what about you? I said, I'm very happy, because when I need to go on my spiritual travels, I just go. And then the poor guy has to be alone for 7 or 8 days or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. but he takes that. So it's all about working together and compromising, and you can't have everything one way or the other way. Life just doesn't work that way. Anyway, they did, and in no time, because they already had all the spiritual knowledge, right? In no time, they do everything together now. That relationship is perfect. And can you imagine she gave it away because of the bad company that told her you gotta leave it? She would have lost such a precious, and now they're growing all together so beautifully. I'm talking about 10 years back. And they're closer and closer every year. There's more love. And they're both artistically, creatively working for the world together. How interesting. So yes, it's really important when your mind is negative. That's how you help yourself, is go in the positive. This is just one of the situations. There are many different situations. Sometimes I have to advise people to leave their partners because they're battering them mentally and physically. So every case is different. Do you understand that? Please understand. No two cases the same. No person is the same. So just because a friend or somebody else tells you it's worked for them, it does not necessarily have to work for you. Remember, the Bhagavad Gita says, what is one man's poison is another person's nectar. What is one person's nectar is another person's poison. So if you're in that negative situation, elevate yourself. That's the first advice I will give you. And how do you master feeling positive in the heart? We have all the yogic practices. Come to a Hatha Yoga class. First of all, because when you're agitated, your mind, you can't still the mind. So with the physical Hatha Yoga postures, for those who haven't come, really it works on your endocrine system, it works on your hormonal system, which is out of sync when you're depressed and stressed out. Adrenals are not working well, everything is out of sync. So do some Hatha Yoga. It puts everything back on course. Not only that, our masters designed such a perfect class. So you work with your body, and while you're working with your body, adjusting, etc., the mind is a little distracted, right? It's a little distracted because you're working and you're feeling your body movements. Oh, I can actually touch my toes. You say, I didn't know I could do that. Or I can't, I'm so stiff. So your thoughts are distracted from your mind. Then after that, when you finish the whole class, you're put into deep relaxation. So you're getting in touch with your inner self. You're lying down and you're able to watch your mind think. But you're put in a very relaxed state. So this is a really good experience because the body is relaxed and the mind is going in the early stages until you get really learn to deep relax. And then you can see that you are capable of being quiet and still, even though your mind is going crazy. And that will give you a lot of inspiration to want to now even still your mind more. And then after you're taken out of deep relaxation, you are given some breathing practices which work incredibly well. They're so simple. Even in English it tells us, I keep repeating this, what do they say? When you're angry, take a deep breath and count to 10. It's that simple. It is that simple. Don't get angry and go crazy and then you regret what you said. Oh, I was so upset. Today I had a 12-year-old boy who told me, so incredible. He said, I sometimes get upset and I argue with my mother and I feel so bad afterwards because I love my mom and I don't know why I get like this. I said, normal, you're 12, hormonal, these things happen. Don't put any energy into it, you're not a bad child. I'm so glad you came and talked to me about this. What you need to do is deep breathing. And then I held to them, can I hold your hands? He said, 3 breaths, that's all we did. You know what he said? He said to me, I don't even want to talk loud after this. 12-year-old. And I said, oh my God, you really are well brought up and you're really quite intelligent, quite smart. And he goes, thank you for helping me today. I really needed to talk about this because I really don't like myself when I shout at my mother. I thought that was so cool. Don't you think that's so touching, so touching. So the point there was, then you do the breathing, and the breathing helps you calm down. So I told him that's what he must do when he gets this hormonal fit. And just take a deep breath and zip his mouth before you say something you regret. You might say something you regret later. Better to keep quiet. Think it through. And then finally you finish off with a little bit of peace chant. Om Shanti. Will you do it with me quickly? Is that okay? Let's sit straight. Shanti means peace. And Om is the universal hum. If you close your eyes, take a deep breath. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. 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 Om Shanti, Om peace, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om peace, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. And then there's a little peace inside, there's a little silence. And that gives relief for the mind, it gives relief for the soul, it puts you in touch with your heart. You start to hear an inner voice, you start to be awake to that peace that exists in you. It comes from you, inside of you. And you have to get that confidence that divine energy is inside of you. You have to get that confidence that it's there. Trust it. And when you call to it as you think it becomes, right? So when you call to peace, that is what you will get. So this is a chant just to prepare you, and then you have a silent time like we do. And it gives you another perspective on all your life and what you should do. It just gives you a whole new outlook and how you can look at things and not stay in that black cloud of suffering, because you don't need to stay in that black cloud. And it says, and then your heart and soul will feel differently. And then you start your conversations with your God, whatever your God may be, nature, Jesus, Gurudev, whatever your God may be. and have conversations. I'm really having this problem. I can't seem to be finding myself. Talk to me. Let me hear you. Allow me to have quiet time so I can hear. And when you do that, after that you go home and you open a book, any book, and suddenly you say, oh my God, I asked the question and I just got the answer. I just got the answer. Or you turn on your television and what is the television answering me? How did it know my problem? And it just happens like that. And you really do communicate. And then when that happens, more and more, the more peaceful you are, the more it happens. But you have to get into that state of peace first. And that's what your aim should be. Okay, I'm so confused, I'm so negative, I'm all locked up. So instead of rushing, what am I going to do now? What should I do? Let me go and search for my state of peace. And then from that position, you find a solution. Sometimes the solution is not a solution that you would like, but it's a solution better than nothing. Take it. Better than nothing, just take it. If you get it, your heart will hear the solution. And I don't want to do this. Maybe that's what you have to do until you get unstuck. You have to get unstuck. If you're stuck, you'll never go anywhere. But really, I have learned in the years of counseling that people come to me and they already know the solution, they just don't do it. It's like the person I told you. What is it? Three times, yes, I know it. You don't do it. But who suffers? You suffer. You don't deserve to suffer. Please, you need to tell yourself that. Every single day of your life, you need to. I was born to make my life full. And suffering is part of it. So I need to learn to accept it and overcome it quickly and live happily. You need to tell yourself that every day. Otherwise, you forget. You think you will live on this earth forever. That's how humans sick condition. I know, you even got sound effects. I cannot manage to still my mind in meditation. Too many thoughts. Any simple tips, please? Yeah, don't struggle so much. A simple tip would be don't struggle so much. So what happens in meditation initially is, I don't know if you're an old practitioner or a new practitioner. Sometimes even old practitioners have this problem, so don't worry about it. When you sit in meditation, the idea is sometimes you cannot stop the chatter of the mind because the mind is chattering. It is, the job of the mind is to think, right? Lots of thoughts will go through. I always say, well, all the masters have said the mind is like a mirror. Now, if you look at a mirror, you go to your mirror in your bathroom, let's say, normally we just see ourselves, but the mirror reflects everything, doesn't it? The toilet seat behind you, the tiles, the marble, the shape on the marble, the paint on the wall, the dampness, your shower. It just doesn't reflect you. So the way to progress in meditation is not to take your thoughts personally. You are the one watching your thoughts. Who is the you that is watching your thoughts? So let's say you can't still your mind, it's going a little crazy. I'll give you a few tips, there are many tips. One day this works, another day that works. And in my life, I try so many different things. And one day I try this, and one day it just finally works, So what you do is you have to accept that the mind does have a lot of thought processes. What you're trying to do is train it. It's not going to like it. So you are, as I told them yesterday in Spain, don't try so hard to keep the thoughts quiet. You will fail. What you try to do is transcend the thoughts. You start to learn to watch the thoughts. Is it? I didn't turn my phone on. No, it's not mine. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. So as I explained to them yesterday, I remember I was trying to control my thoughts when I first started meditating. So one day I read a Buddhist text that said, you transcend, rather than stop it and scold it and tell it to stop, you transcend the thoughts. And very soon after that, I was traveling. And I remember going through the plane and through the clouds and turbulence, and And I thought, oh my God, this is mind stuff, the turbulence, the clouds, all this is the thought patterns, and I'm in it. So the plane is shaking, people are getting nervous around me, and everybody's panicking. And then suddenly you get beyond those clouds, and then it's all still in blue, right? All of you have been on a plane, right? And it's still in blue. But if you look down, if you have a window seat, if you look down, you see the clouds. They haven't gone. You see a layer of them. They're still there. But what's happened is you are above the clouds. And this is what, you try to, when the thoughts are going, don't get attached to them. Try to be a watcher. I'm thinking so many thoughts today. And then you use your higher mind to try and elevate you to a higher level. How do you do that? You use a mantra or something that elevates you, anything that elevates you. You can use something from your heart. In the early days, I remember, not so early, my granddaughter is 12, even 12 years ago, when she was born, many times the mind would go, I just think of the newborn baby, and what do you feel? Joy, right? So excited, my first grandchild. I remember the feeling of pure love. So you build up the love in your heart, and suddenly all that mind stuff that's is gone, because the love has taken over. But you're still in mind stuff, but it's lighter, it's not so heavy. And then after that, you just, okay, I'm not even sticking to, now that I've elevated myself a little bit higher by being a bit more positive or seeing love, not even being positive, just the energy of love, then you just sit in that energy. You just sit and the thoughts will go, and you keep going back to that energy field. It's quite difficult to explain, but it's quite cool when you do it. You feel really good. You feel really peaceful. So even though the mind is going and all the thoughts coming, you're not fighting with it. You're allowing it. You're just transcending it with love. A loving thought. And then your heart fills up. So all this da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And after a point, by itself, you can't control it. It stops. You don't even know when, because when you come out of meditation, you go, oh my God, I thought it was 40 minutes and it's been 2 hours. And it happens to me so often now that I have to get up even earlier, because you really just it by itself, it happens. And every meditator will have this problem. But the secret is not to agitate yourself with it. Say, every day I'm sitting, I'm actually conquering my mind. Because even though the mind is moving, I still have control of my body. I still manage to keep that still. That's quite a feat. And then another tip is, sometimes you just struggle with yourself with all these thoughts. This is tip number 2. Put on some music that's elevating. Choose the right music, the right chant that elevates your mind to a higher thought. Like I said yesterday to all of them, sorry to repeat. For example, that's why we chant. Let's do the Loka again. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light, peace and joy, love and light. And what have you done by just chanting that song? You're not thinking about you. You need to focus on that song, though. You need to put your heart in. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy. And then you use your mind, instead of all the ta-ta-ta, use your mind to think of the earth and people being happy and all the politicians being kinder and thinking about the people and not their pockets, and caring about the human race. And you have all this visualization that the earth is healing and you're not so self-involved. It's not meditation fully, it's creative visualization, but it's a step. It's a big step on higher thinking. And if you can't go blank, please don't worry about it. When you go higher thinking, the quietness will come by itself. It's the lower thinking that will drag you down, okay? So that's why we chant, may the end, and take yourself away from yourself. We're too self-involved. We're too personal with ourselves. We're too, too egotistical. It's yucky. When you get so self-involved, you don't even like yourself. It's like that 12-year-old. I don't like myself when I get agitated because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. I don't like myself. So over years of being frustrated, you end up hating yourself and not having any respect for yourself. So start to like yourself by being gentle with yourself. Shanti, sing that song.
Oh yeah,
Myself, I will love myself.
I am a child of the universe, being born each moment.
I will be gentle with myself.
I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment.
And that's it. You elevate yourself. I must be gentle with me. Don't break yourself down so much. And these are some of the hints. I can give you 100, so maybe you should see me one day with us. This question, if you need more. But I think with those two, it's really enough to start on. It's enough to really, don't fight those thoughts. And sometimes you can't sit and meditate because we live in a world with so much noise. Just walk in nature. Just walk by the beach. Just walk through the grass. Just that in itself is a meditation these days. Just walk and look at the grass and look at the flowers and look at the color of the sky. Look at the clouds. Have you ever done cloud studying? Any of you in this room done cloud studying? Isn't it? Yeah, and it's really beautiful when you just stare at the clouds. Isn't it so beautiful? Especially when it's stormy and sunny and stormy and sunny, and then you see sun rays come through the dark clouds and the colors change to purple, orange, alizarin, crimson, cardamom blue, and you go, wow, so many colors in the sky, That, meditate on higher stuff. And study, read spiritual books because they elevate you every day. Carry a little spiritual book in your purse so that the mind is constantly kept on that higher level, on satsang. Satsang doesn't have to be only in the room. Satsang should be all day long, all the time with you, because the only one that can contact the higher self is yourself. I can only do it for me, you can only do it for you. Nobody can make you well with it. If you don't take the medicine, you're not going to heal. People can share vibration, but that's temporary. What do you want temporary? Get yourself hooked to God and you'll be free. It's really free. And call it what you like, but you will be free. Now this is a very long question. So let's see. In a relationship, you have to be selfless and give to others. But what if you have always done that and you still don't know if he is the right partner because you feel empty with him? Where do you draw the line? How do you know when you are stuck? Sorry about that, I couldn't read the writing. How do you know when you are stuck in a cycle? With him I am okay, but I feel alone. And if I leave, am I being selfish? If I leave, am I being selfish? Many times we feel in order to be a good person, we have to forget about our own needs. And I love to quote the Bible on this one. Love your neighbor as yourself. And one time, my master said to me, you know, Nalanie, you're very good at giving, but your lesson on earth is learning how to receive. So, sometimes, when one is so busy giving, one is not receiving. And of course, if you are giving everything you have, and not receiving anything, you will be emptied out. Your energy, your love, your everything will be empty. And my advice to people is, when you feel like that in a relationship, it's really very important to sit down with your partner. Really very important to sit down with your partner. Tell your partner, give your partner a chance. And I have seen in all these years of counseling, people don't tell their partners what they're feeling. They just think, I have to give selflessly, they're not giving me in return, but never mind, I'm a good person, I'm going to give more and more and more. And they're emptier and emptier and emptier. You're not allowing yourself to receive what you may receive. You may not receive it. You may not receive it from that partner. There's your answer. Goodbye. There's your answer to go to the door. But you have to tell them how you feel. You have to discuss it. It's only fair. It's only right. And you need to tell them exactly how you feel. And scary. So many people tell me, it's scary. I say, it's more scary living the way you are in this no man's land of being miserable. And if he's not willing to listen to you, then he doesn't deserve you. Isn't that simple? What's so scary about being so truthful? If he doesn't want to hear you and not, you are giving and you're drained, so you need to tell him, well, I need some love, I need some kindness, I need some romance, or I maybe don't know what's not working in our relationship. Tell me, because I feel so alone. We don't talk, we don't communicate. What's going on? I'm feeling alone. I've tried praying, I've tried meditating, I've tried doing all that, and it's not working. I'm still feeling alone. I haven't yet found the peace of God within me, and I haven't yet found the love of man in me. So I need your help, because the next step is I walk out and I don't want to make a mistake, but if we both can work together, let's try it. And if he doesn't want to try it and he doesn't want to hear it, then you're not going to spend the rest of your life kicking that door and making everybody miserable in your family, are you? So, and then you die. You know what you do? You get cancer, you get sick. How many relationships, because they can't do it anymore, they get sick, the body breaks down. And they tell me, and I think they're having a good relationship. Oh, Nalanie, you know what? I really want to die. Why? Because they're so exhausted in the relationship. The next few months later, I find out they have cancer. They are dying because they're not saying their truth. What's the point of living this life? You got a human form. You got to say what you think. Don't blame the other person. Go open your mouth. Communicate. Talk. I know it's scary, but you have to. You have to clean it up. And you've got to trust. You've got to totally trust when you live in kind truthfulness. Kind truthfulness. Not go and shout at them and tell them what's wrong. No, and point a finger. This is the way I am feeling. I can't help what I'm feeling. I'm so sorry to hurt you with this, but I can't give anymore. I really can't. I feel drained. I feel sick. I feel unalive. I feel dead. I need to feel alive, and I can't do it. I need your help. And if a person loves you, won't they help you? If you went like that to anybody, wouldn't they help you? So it's the ego and the fear in you that is not communicating, and you need to communicate. And then ask the Lord to give the best consequences for everybody concerned. Everybody. If there are children, you have to think a lot. Sorry. And because it sounds from this question, you are unsure what to do. Gurudev always said, and I just love this statement, the pan is too hot. You're just going to drop it. You're not going to say, should I hold it and burn your hand? You're not. You're not. So obviously you're not ready to go. Otherwise you say, you're going to, you want to hold on to that pot. That means you're not burning enough. Maybe sometimes you have a little bit more karma with that person. I don't know. When the time is right, you will know. You always know. If you have that faith and trust and that patience, you know. But you have to do your part. You have to be truthful. You have to, you have to be honest, lovingly. Communication is the breakdown of all the relations I've seen today. I'm so scared. Why are you scared of the person you're living with? What's so fearful? Okay, they're going to lose their temper? Are they going to beat you? Unless they beat you, then you should report them. But if they're not going to beat you, why are you so frightened of some bad temper? Just stop the nonsense, Don't speak to me like that. I don't deserve it. Finish. Walk out of the room. Be strong. Be bold. Use your energy. If you left without communicating, you will always feel unfulfilled because you didn't finish it. So you need to feel, if you're going to leave, you need to be, I've done the best, I've done everything I can, and now I'm walking out, and then you'll feel at peace, and you can continue. But if you leave like this, not sure what to do, should I stay? Then you must communicate, and you must finish it, or you must fix it. The choice is only yours. Nobody can do that for you, because only you can follow your heart. And nobody should live feeling empty. We weren't born to feel empty. We weren't born to feel empty. And the only thing that's stopping you from feeling empty is your own non-communication. That's how I see it. I'm sorry if I'm being so tough. And whether you stay or go is your own decision. You have to make it. Nobody can make that for you. You hope that somebody will tell you, you have to leave that person. But nobody will tell you that. And you hope somebody will say, you have to stay with that person. And nobody will tell you that. Because nobody knows your relationship better than you. And if you get it from somebody else, it will not be the right answer. So to stay or to go has to come from yourself. Sorry, be brave, communicate. Hope I answered your question. If not, give me a call or send me an email. So, how do you keep from falling asleep during meditation? Even sitting upright. That's a good step forward. Meditate at a time when you feel wide awake. Exactly that. Meditate to train yourself. You didn't hear the question. Do you want me to ask it again?
Sorry.
No problem. Sorry, I can't see in this light. How do you keep from falling asleep during meditation, even sitting upright? And I said, my answer was, choose a time when you're wide awake. Not everybody, I've realized, can do early mornings. I love early mornings. It's supposed to be the best time. But you know what? Best time, worst time, so long as you do it, who cares? As long as you get that communication. Best time will come later. You train yourself. I started not at 6 o'clock in the morning. When I first started, it was at 11 o'clock, after my husband left for work. I told him I'll come 1 hour later than him. And when he left, that was the time. And at that time, I was really wide awake, So you choose a time, and then late in the morning, the early mornings, you want to do more. Choose a time that you're really awake to meditate, and you won't fall asleep. Make that time. Now, this time in my life, and some people may say, oh, I go to work at that time. Make it after breakfast. You just change your schedule a little bit. I know I'm sleepy first thing in the morning, so I'm not going to meditate at that time. I'll take a shower, I'll get ready, and I know that if I don't eat, I'm starving, so I'm not going to meditate. I'll fall asleep. So I'm going to eat something, and then I'll stay awake and meditate at that time. Everybody is different. I cannot meditate if I eat. Because that's I've trained myself. I made a promise. I made a promise 20 years ago, and I kept it, that I will not eat till I meditate every day, and I've kept it since. So you make a promise to yourself, and then choose the right time. In time, the right time will come to you. I started at 10 and 11 every morning, and I don't even know the transition when I changed to 5:36. And some days when I'm really tired, it's 6:37. No big deal. It's really no big deal. And 6:30 is count 8, 9, 2 o'clock in the morning. When you're jet lagged, and I was in Hong Kong, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, wide awake. So what am I going to sit and try and fall asleep? What a waste of energy. I sit up, meditate for 2 hours, 5 o'clock. Oh, I'm going to have tea with Mom at 8. I have 3 hours to sleep. meditate, I sleep so well after that. So you just change your timing. When you're awake, you do it. Bye, Marianne. No, I need to finish. It's 2 more minutes to finish that. Oh, we have lots of questions. Do you mind if I leave them for the next session? Because it is getting late for people. But since I've opened this, let me do this one. Nothing wrong. How do you deal with people who judge the situation you are in and look down on you? I would ignore them. They are judging you. They don't know your situation. Don't give them energy. Sri Patanjali says it's disregard. Don't give them energy. And you know what? If they look down upon you, let them. The truth, if you live the truth, you will... No problem. If you live the truth, then the truth will always come out in the end. People may criticize you, they may say you're wrong, they'll say all kinds of things about you. But if you live the truth, you don't have to do anything. They will find out the truth later. You don't have to protect yourself, you don't have to justify yourself. Every time in my life I've listened to what people say and thought what they thought, I've ended up in the pits. So my thing is, you know what? People will always talk. You have to follow your heart. You have to follow your heart. Because whether it looks right for the world or not, it's come to you, you gotta follow your heart. Because if you don't, you will always be in the mind. So, and when you do, sometimes people will like what you do and sometimes people will not like what you do. And it's okay. It's not their problem. It's your life. And if they look down about you, bless them. Because they teach you about your ego. They show you that you have a huge ego and you're so bothered by what they talk about. So bless them and thank them for looking down upon you. Because if you didn't have an ego, you will say, no problem, let them talk, let them have some fun, let them boogie, let them gossip. I know what I'm doing. And my thing is really strong now. It's like I only answer to one, and that's my God. And so long as I am not hurting anyone in my heart, and I know I'm doing everything out of love, so long as I can sleep at night, and I know with all my heart everything's done with love. I'm answering to God. For me, God is love. Thank you. And on that, we will finish the satsang tonight. I want to thank you all for coming. It's great to see you again. I'm sorry I haven't been able to answer all the questions. Will you keep it Lakshmi for the next? Thank you. And we'll finish with 3 Oms and 1 minute of silent meditation.
Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light.
May the light of truth overcome all the darkness.
Victory to that light.
Jai Shri Satguru Satchidananda Ji Maharaj Ki
Jai.
Thank you all. Have a great evening. Have good fun. Love each other. Hug each other. Tell each other how much you care for each other. Be kind. Be good.
Generous.
Be generous. Yeah, I know.